All right, today's movie is The Chinese Stuntman, starring Bruce Lee. Now, it's not starring that Bruce Lee, it's starring Bruce Lee. I feel like I'm in an Abbott and Costello movie. So let me explain what I mean by Chinese Stuntman starring Bruce Lee, but not Bruce Lee. If you don't know, there is a whole subgenre of martial arts movie known as Bruce exploitation. After Bruce Lee died, he was just at the height of his popularity. There were a number of people who made films with names similar to Bruce Lee. And in fact, there were people that sort of took his movie, most notably The Unfinished Game of Death, and sort of edited them together to make new movies. So among the Bruce Lee clones was Bruce Lee with one E, Bruce Lee with one I, with L-I, and there was Dragon Lee, and there's probably more. But this stars Bruce L.I. His real name, Ho Chung Tao. And that's actually what he's credited on this film. But perhaps a little confusingly, the assistant director is Bruce Lee. Now, it's not that Bruce Lee, and it's not this Bruce Lee. It's Bruce L.E. A little confusing. Anyway, The Chinese Stuntman stars Ho Chung Tao, and he directed it, as I said. And this film is a little bit meta because he stars as an insurance agent who his company sells an insurance policy to a movie star of a martial arts movie. And very soon afterwards, the martial arts star gets hurt. So the insurance company is a little little worried that either they've been scammed or that they are just going to lose all their money. They should not have insured this dude. So they send Bruce Lee, L.I., to sort of go to the set while they're filming and kind of make sure everything's safe. While there, the first day he's there, he's like, "Oh, that stunt, you can't, this guy can't do the stunt." And the director is like, "Oh, you think you can do it?" He's like, "Sure, I can do it." So he does it and he becomes a stuntman. And throughout the movie, he keeps trying to quit, but they keep offering him money. But then similarly, at the same time, the star is starting to get jealous of him and hijinks ensue. So it's this guy, Ho Chung Tao, Bruce Lee, made a movie where he is an actor making a movie. And so it has a lot of commentary about what I can assume was the state of making movies, Hong Kong, martial arts movies at the time. So, for example, there's a scene early on when they're sort of brainstorming the next movie, and the director's like, we've done all the different styles of karate. We have to come up with a different one. Different styles of martial arts.
What on earth are you up to? What do you think you're doing? If we keep on like this, we're all gonna be finished.
Director, we don't want it either. But you know the trade. It's a fashion right now. Mantis fist, eagle, snake fist, bear claw, you name the blow, there's a film about it. Even cat fist. There's a film on that too. So we need to come up with some new kung fu style.
And I'm sure that actually happened. There's also another scene where he tries to quit, and the director keeps offering him more and more money to stay, and so ends up paying him, several times as much money as he had originally been paying him, which sort of indicates that he could have been paid that much to start with.
You can easily find someone better than me, but if I carry on filming, I'll be finished.
Before I gave you 200 a day. Well, now I'll give you 3. 5. 1,000.
So maybe this was a sign that Bruce Lee felt like he was getting ripped off. He was getting underpaid. There's another really interesting scene where the director, he shows the clip of this great scene that Bruce Lee's came up with. And there's a guy, I believe he's an American film guy. He's like, oh, who did that? Who did that stunt? And the director's like, nah, he's just a new guy. You don't need to know his name. So he kind of ends up taking away the credit. But then once the Americans like, next movie that dude's in, I want it, they try to introduce Bruce Lee, but he's already left because he doesn't want any part of it.
What about the guy who jumped the car? Can you tell us who he is?
Oh, no point talking about him. He's a new guy, just started work.
Since he's such a good actor, why don't you use him on your film?
Actor? You're kidding. I could sign him to a contract and make him into a big movie star overnight.
So the movie itself has tons of fight scenes. It seems like everywhere Bruce Lee goes, people want to fight him, whether it is an actual fight or it is a stunt or it is just his friends wanting to spar with him.
Tell you what, now you're here, why don't we practice a little, huh?
No,
Come on.
let's
Let's see you do it. Come on, fella. Give us a...
So there are lots of great stunts. There was one in particular where they sort of walk through how he would film. They filmed him jumping over a car, and you know that's pretty cool. All in all, this film is pretty entertaining. The plot isn't that it's kind of there. Mostly, it's just an excuse to have fight after fight. There is some commentary, but all in all, I give it 3 thumbs up. Buy some insurance. The Chinese stuntman is here to watch over you.